Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene is apparently furious over Joe Biden's surprise trip to Ukraine. Yeah, on Monday, Biden made a surprise appearance in Kyiv ahead of the anniversary of the Russian invasion in a show of solidarity with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky and his people. Again, Marjorie Greene, not thrilled about that. Very, very angry, and she took to Twitter, because of course, and tweeted about how this was incredibly insulting. Today on our President's Day, Joe Biden, the President of the United States, chose Ukraine over America while forcing the American people to pay for Ukraine's government and war. Wait, Ukraine was literally invaded by Russia. It's how's it their war? It's Russia's war. They're fighting against a hostile invader. Come on. But she continues by saying, I cannot express how much Americans hate Joe Biden. She also tweeted about Zelensky, saying that he couldn't even wear a tie as he greets the President of the United States. He gladly takes our money in sweatshirts and t-shirts. But Biden is dressed up. So insulting. Look, this is coming from someone who dressed up as, like, literally Cruella de Vil during the State of the Union speech. Or like a villain from the Hunger Games. What is she? Why? Why is she even mad? I do not know. But here's the thing, though. You realize his country's at war right now, because he was invaded by Russia. So does he really have to put on a suit? He could be bombed at any time. What? You're expecting this guy to go and put on a suit? Come on. Honestly, why should she care? Now, she also said that basically instead of visiting East Palestine, Ohio, she said that he went to Ukraine, a non-NATO nation, which, by the way, they're trying to apply to get into NATO right now, whose leader is an actor and apparently now commanding our United States military to world war. Okay, a couple things about that. I thought Republicans loved actors turned politicians. I mean, look, you Ronald Reagan. You had Donald Trump. Yes, Donald Trump. So he did some acting because he was in, I thought he was Home Alone. He mainly played himself, but still, on The Apprentice, Television Man. So, okay, sure, they love actors, but only when the actor's on their side. When it's anybody else, of course, we hate that. Now, look, that said, should Biden have visited East Palestine? I guess, maybe, I don't know. I mean, look, here's the thing. I think Biden should be making Pete Buttigieg regulate the rail industry. I think that's what should be happening right now. They need to regulate the rail industry, and they needed to do yesterday. And by the way, Biden should not have broken that strike. Now, that said, Congress also was involved in that decision. All of that would be far superior to a visit. So again, I don't think she would be, she really has any sort of point to sit there and criticize anybody. Okay? And that said, if you want to criticize Congress for continuously sending more and more money to Ukraine, while also claiming, no, we're going to have cut Social Security and Medicare because of the debt, okay, that's fine. But you would also have to involve criticizing other Republicans if you want to go after that. And so, because Republicans also continuously vote for more and more congressional funding, authorization for more funding for Ukraine's defense. So, on to Joe Biden, though. She says, basically need to impeach him. That's her overall thing is we need to get rid of him. We need to impeach him. Now, look, on Joe Biden, I think, for one, that's ridiculous. Now, secondly, I do have my criticisms of President Biden, or at least his, tenure in office. Many Americans do. But I also think that he's done a good job on some things as well. Some of his appointments have been good. For example, Gigi Sohn. By the way, Gigi Sohn last week had another congressional hearing where she was blocked, where she should be head of the the FCC right now, because she would actually protect net neutrality, and also, fight back against these ISPs and telecom companies from screwing us over. She continuously gets blocked by mostly Republicans, but also mainly industry and industry lobbying. And of course, the right wing has been going on and saying all sorts of horrible smears about her and all this ridiculous stuff. I've talked about this before. But she's an excellent pick if she can ever get confirmed. Then there are others, Deb Haaland's another great pick. Of course, there are also some other not good picks, like Merrick Garland, who seems to be sitting on his hands, at least from my perspective, right? Now, other decisions, for example, sticking with the withdrawal from Afghanistan, I think that was mostly good. Although one thing that's negative about that is Biden, after, the Taliban or whatever, or it might have been ISIS that did this bombing, Biden responded to it with a bombing that ended up killing some civilians. So, look, that part was not good. Breaking the rail strike, also not good, because they were going to, actually fighting against these corporations that have been, doing stock buybacks with all this massive profit instead of upgrading their ECS brakes. And then, of course, lobbying politicians like back in the Trump administration to remove these regulations that would have prevented this disaster. The unions were trying to go on strike to stop these companies from shortchanging their workers and breaking it, getting them to their breaking point by not giving them a day off, no sick time, nothing like that. So look, Biden did the wrong thing in trying to, break the unions essentially. So there are criticisms, right? And so look, again, mixed record, right? And there are voters that are looking to have the Democrats run someone else in 2024. I doubt that'll happen now, especially. But that has a better chance of happening than Marjorie Greene getting her impeachment wish. And so this is the thing, right? The only reason that Marjorie Greene continues to bring up impeachment all the time, basically everything, Biden could stub his toe, get a hangnail in, and she'd be like, impeachment! Well, it's because the Democrats did it to her daddy Trump. That's all it is. It's just about revenge. The thing that you have to always remember about Marjorie Taylor Greene is that, for number one, she's insane. That's the big thing you have to remember. But even though she's insane, she'll occasionally bring up one interesting point or another, right? That you can say, oh, okay, I get it. Okay, oh, yeah, sure, we should do something about East Palestine, Ohio, make the trains safer. Okay, that's great, I agree with that. But then, of course, she will go and completely undermine what sense, or what sensible point you could make about the thing that she brings up by saying something deeply stupid.